Namah Shivaya. Hello, children. Welcome to our podcast about Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Mahaswamy. In this podcast, we lovingly remember and reflect upon the divine life and the teachings of our Paramacharya. So, in each episode, I am sharing with you some real life incidents from the life of Paramacharya, and these are the stories which are filled with wisdom and also different miracles that will touch our heart. So these are not just stories of the past, but these are the stories which we have to learn some lessons from and implement in our future life. So, children, come, let us sit at the holy feet of Paramacharya and listen with open hearts. So, because each story carries a lesson just for you. So, let me tell you about a beautiful moment that reveals the divine insight of our Paramacharya. Paramacharya had a very close disciple, and his name is Vedapuri. So, one day after completing his routine tasks in the Matham, Vedapuri approached Paramacharya and he asked for his approval before starting to Tiruvannamalai. Because Vedapuri wanted to go to Tiruvannamalai, however, Paramacharya was not giving him the green signal. Actually, Vedapuri wanted to visit his daughter who is in Tiruvannamalai. However, Vedapuri told Paramacharya that he wanted to go to Tiruvannamalai to perform Giri Pradakshina. You know, in Tiruvannamalai we have Arunachala. So many devotees perform this Giri Pradakshina. That is, there is a big hill. The hill is called Arunachalam, and people go around that hill. That is called Giri Pradakshina. So instead of telling that he wanted to visit his daughter, he said that he wanted to go to that Giri Pradakshina. So Paramacharya looked at Vedapuri and told him like this: You come around me 3 times. That is enough. That is Giri Pradakshina. Vedapuri was stunned. He wanted to go there, but instead of Giri Pradakshina, Paramacharya was giving an alternative. So finally, Mahaswami allowed him to go to his daughter's place. But the point is, a true saint can see through the intentions of the people. So there is no point in lying to Paramacharya. The same is with God. When we are praying God, God can easily see what intentions that we have in our mind. See, what do we do generally before the exam? Till that time, we don't even know where the puja room is in that house, in our house. But exactly when you're going for an exam, you just, from the previous night itself, you will be thinking of God so much. In the morning, you wake up, just go to God, put all that kumkum and everything on your forehead, and you become a big devotee, right? But God knows the true intentions. So always be honest with yourself and also with others and including God. So remember, intentions matter as much as actions. So let your heart be clean because the divine sees more than our words. He's seeing it. He knows it. Okay? So be truthful. Now, here is another story that will amaze you and will make you smile. There was once a devotee, his name is Sarveshwaran. He used to visit Paramacharya every day, every holidays since he was a child. So once he was in college, he came for darshan and told Paramacharya early in the morning, I must leave because I have a cricket match. Then Paramacharya asked gently, Match? Do you play for your college? He said, Yes. Are you a bowler or a batsman? Both. So you're a fast bowler? Do you bowl with the new ball? Then he said, Yes. So you do outswing or in swing? Both, the boy replied. So the boy was really shocked because Paramacharya was asking all these questions. And to add to this, Paramacharya then described the exact bowling actions, how to hold the seam for the outswing and where to point it for the inswing. He was explaining everything. Now Sarveswaran was really stunned. How could Paramacharya, who always lived in spiritual solitude, how he knew about all this, about cricket, that too in such a deeper level? Had he ever seen a match? And also, Paramacharya gave him a detailed class on this swinging thing, okay, about bowling and all those things. So, children, true knowledge is not bound by experience alone. So, when your mind is pure and it is connected to the divine, even the unknown becomes known. As we have seen in the previous episodes, Paramacharya was talking about quantum physics in the same way. So this is one incident which tells us that he has knowledge in many other fields as well. Now, children, let's travel back to 1933 when Paramacharya was in Kashi. You know Kashi, the sacred city, which is in North India. There were many respected scholars. They gathered in a palace where Paramacharya was also there. So some of them felt jealous because someone from the south, why is he called Jagat Guru? Because generally from the south, Jagat Gurus were very less. So they weren't understanding why this person is called the Jagat Guru. What is a Jagat Guru? Means he is the Guru of the world. So one proud Pandit, he challenged, who is this Jagat Guru? And Paramacharya calmly replied, I am the Jagat Guru. Then he was so sarcastic. The Pandit was so sarcastic and he said, so you claim to be the Guru of the world. And you know what Paramacharya has replied? He smiled and he replied in Sanskrit, he said, Jagatam Guruhu Na, means I am not the Guru of the world. I am the one who learns from the world. Everyone in this world is my Guru. See, this is the meaning that he has given to Jagat Guru. Jagat Guru, when we speak about Jagat Guru, we say that a person who is a guru to the entire world is called a Jagat Guru. But he has given an entirely different meaning. He said, I am not the Guru of the entire world, but I am the one who learns from the world. It means everyone in this world is my Guru. I am not the Guru, but everyone in this world becomes my Guru. That is what he said. So see how humble he is. Then he pointed to a small bird's nest in the hall. A small bird built a nest in the same hall. So he showed that nest and he said, who made this? Then the Pandit replied, a sparrow. Then Paramacharya said, see, that tiny bird, sparrow is a very tiny bird. It doesn't have any hands or legs like us. But this tiny bird has built such a beautiful nest. Can we build one like that? No. So that sparrow has action, strength, and devotion. So that sparrow is my Guru. So people around him were so pleased with the attitude that he had. See, children, always be humble. Learn from everyone, even the tiniest creatures. The whole world is a classroom when your heart is open and your ego is small. So this is the attitude that every student should have. Not only student, I don't mean by only small children who are going to school or college. Everybody in this world is a student and everybody's mind should always be open like that. If we keep our minds open, we can always find something to learn, some good thing we can find in each person that we can learn from them. So never have ego, even it is a small creature or a small child. A person who is much younger than you can teach you something. A person who is not at all educated and he is sitting on the road, he can teach you something. A small bird can teach you something. When Jagat Guru, when he knows so many things, but still he is ready to learn from a sparrow, what does it show? If you are interested in learning, you can find some good in each person or each thing or each creature. Now, I'll tell you another story, and this story is about faith, destiny, and how Paramacharya shows his divine guidance. This happened in 1945. Some devotees wanted to build a temple for Devi Karumari Amman. Okay, that was a Devi temple. But they were worried because they didn't have enough money. To build a temple is not a small issue, you need lots of money. So they didn't have enough money. So they were very worried and they came to Paramacharya to seek his blessings. And they told him, we have made an ambitious plan, but we may not get sufficient donations for this. So Paramacharya, please bless us. That is what they appealed him. So after a few moments of silence, Paramacharya replied, this is for Amma, right? Amma is Ammavaru, we call goddess. So she will take care of it. And they said, yes, we also believe that, but we don't even have 25% of the money in our hand now. So that is why we are worried. See, if we have at least 75%, maybe for the last 25%, that is okay. But we have the initial 25% only. We don't have sufficient money and we are getting worried. Then Paramacharya said, build a construction to the height of 4 feet from the ground. They said, okay, we'll build it. Then what are we going to do for other things? Till 4 feet, we'll build it. After that, we have this Gopuram. We need the idols. we need to do the Kumbhabhishekam and all those things for consecrating the god over there. What should we do? Then Paramacharya said, a certain person will come for that. So the devotees understood that he is giving his blessing, a person will be coming. But they still wondered, when will this person come? Where can we find this person for helping us? They knew that somebody is going to help us. But how can we know when he is going to come, where he is? How can we contact him and all those things? However, okay, they received blessings from him. They took the prasadam. They were all happy, but still they were worried about this. And this happened on 14th of February 1945. So where was that person who is going to come? Okay. Now we'll go a little backward. Now it is 1945. World War II started in 1939 and it was continuing in 1945 also. So the Allied forces and the Japanese were fighting in Myanmar near the river Airavati. That time it was called Burma. Now it is Myanmar. Okay, they were fighting near the river Airavati. So these Japanese were on the eastern bank and the Allied forces were on the western bank. Now these Allied forces were not familiar with this place or the environment. So they weren't knowing how to fight with these Japanese, and also the major who was leading this Allied forces, he sent a message to London and he asked to send somebody who is familiar with fighting in the river water. So they sent a battalion of people for fighting here. They sent them near Airavati. So these are all Indian soldiers and they were very good at fighting in this river. So they plunged into the water, and by the time the Japanese were very furious because they were thinking nobody was there to fight, but suddenly this group of Indian soldiers have come from the Allied forces and they got into the water. They were really outraged and they turned into monsters and they killed all the people on the bank like sparrows. They just killed everybody. But only one person survived in that slaughtering. And this person was thinking, why was I alone saved in this? The complete battalion was smashed here, but I was saved. This is what he thought. And in May 1945, I said the war was continuing from 1939 to 1945. In May 1945, this war came to a halt because Germany surrendered and the World War ended. So that one man who survived in this Airavati fight, his name was called Major Narayana Swami. Okay, and this Narayana Swami retired from the army and he settled down in Ranipettai with his wife. And this Ranipettai is the place where the temple was being constructed. Now come back to our story. So I said the devotees who wanted to construct the temple went to Paramacharya and he gave his blessings, and this happened on 14th of February 1945. And I said the war completed in May 1945. Okay, so after that they came back to this place. After the war, he came back and settled in his own place. One evening, when they went for a walk and he and his wife were going for a walk, then they found this temple and they saw that the temple is incomplete and the Devi's idol is in open. And he felt that the Devi was asking him, see, look, I saved you from all that war, but look at me. I am under this open roof and with the sun and rain falling on me. Won't you put a roof above me? That is how he felt, like Devi was asking him. Remember when he was the only person who survived in that war? He was thinking, why was I only saved in this? And now he got an answer for that, and immediately he took up the construction of the temple. Now the devotees brought this couple to Paramacharya and they told him, this is military major Narayana Swami and this is his wife Chandrika. So they have undertaken to construct the temple and perform the Kumbhabhishekam also, exactly like you told us a few days ago. So children, faith is always powerful. Sometimes the help we need is already on its way, but we might not see it. At that time, we have to trust in divine's timings and never give up on any noble goals. If our goal is noble and pure, definitely some help is going to come us. We might not know when the help is going to come, but nature always helps people with noble goals. Now, here is a heart touching story that shows Paramacharya's unconditional love. Once, while Paramacharya was at Hampi, a lady doctor used to visit him every day. She called him Appa. Appa means father. So every time when she comes to him, she used to call him Appa, Appa, Appa. She was so loving, and she always used to advise him about food and health, just like any daughter would advise her father. The same way she used to advise him. So one night she came up to the camp after midnight, and the disciple stopped her. You're a doctor, you should know that you should not come here at night because ladies are not allowed during nights to this matam. But Paramacharya's voice came out. Who is that outside? Then the doctor fell at his feet and she said, Appa, today something incredible happened. I tried to save a young girl today, but she passed away. I cried and I called out your name 108 times. 108 times she called his name. And to her surprise, the young girl came back to life. I couldn't come earlier because of all these things, but I wanted to see you now. That's the reason I came to you. Then Paramacharya blessed her gently and said, "You shouldn't have come at the night. I was like awake. That is okay. But what would have happened if I have not been awake?" So the doctor simply said, "Appa, I just wanted to see you. Day or night doesn't matter to me." So the next morning again she came for darshan, and all the sishyas who are present over there, the attendees who were there, now she was looking like a devata, like a divine being for them. Because you see, devotion is always pure when it comes from love and not from rules. When your heart is filled with sincere love and gratitude, even the impossible thing becomes possible. See, here she is praying not for her but for a little girl who was her patient. She was genuinely interested in saving the girl, and then she sought the help of Paramacharya, and Paramacharya has instantly helped her. Hers was a selfless prayer. Remember, that was selfless. So let us also try to bring even a little bit of that greatness into our own lives. Okay? So until we meet again in the next story, keep the light of Paramacharya's blessings shining in your heart. Jai Hind.